Steven, it's difficult in situations like this. How do you reflect on this evening and where it leads you?
I think in terms of our performance, it was certainly a game of two halves. I thought we were really good in the first half, started the game ever so well. I thought the crowd were terrific, and we've gone in at half time exactly where we wanted to be. 1-0 up, defending really well. In the second half, we've gone out, gave the boys the information, and we've got 2 restarts in the second half badly wrong from throw-in situations. We've been passive and haven't defended them situations very well. And at this level, good players and decent teams hurt you, and that's what's happened tonight. So really frustrated with our second half performance.
In terms of your domination in the first half, the goal sending off, were you surprised how Malmo came out at the start of the second half?
No, we had an idea to try and sit in and still try and be organised, and at every opportunity we felt we'd try and play into their front men, we'd try and nick set pieces, and from restart situations we felt we were going to go direct into the front men. We've got to take ownership of that and defend them situations better. We had a lot of the ball second half. We were up against the block for the majority of it, but we were just going round the block and throwing crosses in. We need to be more inventive and try and play through it more. Play it into our nines more and run off, pass and run more. Our performance second half, both in and out of possession, hasn't been what we were looking for sure.
Steven, defensively, of course, the team was so strong last season. Has it just been a case of individual mistakes so far this season?
Look, I think for football, when you can see the goal, normally everyone looks for individuals, but I think as a team, defensively, we haven't been good enough second half. We conceded 2 goals in the first leg and 2 in the second leg. When you concede 4 goals over 2 games, you give yourself a huge mountain to climb. So I'm really disappointed we conceded 4 goals. We've lost the second half tonight 2-0. So we'll analyse it, but there's certainly no pointing fingers at individuals. As a team, as a unit, we haven't defended 2 restarts well enough tonight, and we had 2 poor situations last week in the second half and again at the weekend. So we need to look at that, and we might need to make some changes within that to get better as a unit, and we need to work on it to become better and hard to play against.
Steven, it's obviously been a difficult week for the club, and you've got some big fixtures over the next couple of weeks. How do you ensure that the club bounce back and get back?
Well, that's my job. That's what I need to do. I need to pick the players up, reset, really think about what the right team is to play on Friday, the game being close to this game. But that's what we'll do. You know, a club like this, we haven't had a good week. We have to accept that. We're responsible for it, and it's my job to pick the players up and react on Friday night and try and get a positive win, so we feel a bit better about ourselves.
Steve, you know what it's like in Glasgow when you get defeats. Do you need to look to your leaders in the dressing room to help motivate the team and pick them up as you say, close to that reset button?
100%. You know, we have got strong leaders in the dressing room. I trust them a lot. I'll speak to them in the coming days, and yeah, they've got big responsibility to help reset and go again. I think every manager's the same, but that's the case also when you're on winning runs. You want to speak to your senior players to maintain the standards and keep going and try and keep the level of consistency. So it's not a case of just waiting for a defeat or a bad week and then you turn to your senior players. You've got to have that relationship with them all the time. But now, you know, our supporters need them a lot to try and flip the form and the mood of the place.
Hi Stephen, obviously it's been a really disappointing couple of legs for the club. Just in terms of going forward, not just obviously domestically at Rangers, but in Europe, obviously you'll be hoping to get through into the minimum Europa League. How important is it for the club to go perhaps, you know, a step further than what they've been doing in the last couple of years in the Europa League?
Well, that was a long question. Look, we wanted to try and qualify in this competition. It was a priority, and we've underachieved over both legs. To concede 4 goals and perform in the second half last week, the second half tonight, we haven't been good enough. So first and foremost, we need to get over that, and we need to pick ourselves up and react from that domestically in the cup on Friday night. And then, you know, going into the Europa League playoff, we have to be better. The reality is, for you to qualify and be part of Europe, which is important for the club, over 2 legs, you need to perform for 2 90 minutes, not just 2 45 minutes, and that's where we need to change things in the coming weeks.
Steven, it's going to be a quick few days to get ready for the Dunfermline game. Is there anything that you're going to prioritise in terms of getting the group back and galvanised?
Just get them in the right place from a mental point of view, get over the setback tonight. As I say, I'll be chatting to my senior players and the players around, try and pick them up tomorrow, and then we'll prepare in the best way we can. I'll make some changes for Friday night, but I'll still be trying to pick a team that has got match winners on the pitch, so there won't be drastic changes. We'll pick an 11 to try and get the job done and move into the next round of that competition.
Steven, I just wanted to ask, you've been on this upward trajectory over the last while. How big a setback does tonight feel to you in terms of your kind of grand plan and moving the club forward?
Well, look, the last week hasn't gone to plan. We've underachieved in this competition over both legs. There's no getting away from that. But it's still very early days in terms of domestic competition. 2 competitions haven't started, and we're 2 games into the other. So, for me, I think there will be a bit of panic on the outside, and a bit of noise and a bit of criticism. That's the reality, that's the way it is, we have to accept that. But in terms of me and my staff, we certainly won't be, because we've got a lot of belief in this group. We'll try and get our better players and our players who are capable of performing very high at this level back into the pitch, into the team in a better place, and I'm sure our form will turn.
Just on the crowd, Stephen, obviously not the way you wanted to welcome them back in, but the noise tonight.
Oh, fantastic. Listen, the fans gave us a huge performance. None of this is on them at all. They turned up tonight and I thought they were terrific, and we thank them for that. Unfortunately, we could only give them half a job tonight because the second half wasn't good enough, and we need to take responsibility, but the fans were terrific.